Many times, we may have a recurring functionality being added to our application. For example, checking if a movie falls in a classics category, or if an aeroplane bound to Paris is it on schedule or not, or sending out an email notification once a customer places an order, or perhaps mapping out an insurance number to a client. If you take a step back, what's really happening here is that we are checking for a valid condition or transforming one type to another type, or consuming an input for some internal processing, or sometimes publishing a response for an inbound request based on some conditions. Normally, what we do in Java is we design these features using interfaces. Let's see an interface for checking a movie if it's a classic movie or not. This interface provides a method to check if a movie is classic or not. All it's doing is taking an ID and returning us a true or false value. In the similar lines, if we need to find out if a person is an employee or not given an employee ID, we design that functionality using this interface. Or maybe admitting a patient into a hospital. Look at the first two interfaces closely. These interfaces and the features they are supporting, you can infer a common strategy repeating itself. Given a value, return a Boolean expression. So given an ID, they check for a condition and return true or false. Instead of creating set of interfaces for each and every case or type, wouldn't it be better if we have a generalized interfaces that would be used irrespective of the use case? For example, something like this. This interface satisfies both movie and person. The reason for that is that we are passing a type T. So given a type T, it's going to do some test and passes the return value as Boolean back to you. Well, this is what exactly Java 8 has done for us. The designers have created a set of commonly used functional interfaces for us to start using them off the shelf, out of the box. For example, the functionality of testing for a valid condition is defined in a predicate interface. Predicate has a method called test to check for a condition and returns a Boolean value based on the condition's result. So the definition of predicate has just become like this. Similar to testing a functionality, there are other common use cases as well, such as consuming data, mapping a data point to another, transforming one type of another, as we seen earlier. So Java introduced a set of new functions for supporting these type of functionalities. These are the recurring use cases, and for each recurring use case, they have created a new function. So along with predicate, other interfaces such as consumer, function, and supplier, and many specific variants of these interfaces were created. We usually call this library as functions library. A new package called java.util.function was created to house these new functions. So in the next few sessions, we will learn about these new functions in detail.